Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: the eurozone's next crisis is already approaching, in Italy. How asset managers are starting to gauge corporate harm to nature, biodiversity. Alibaba, Tencent Join Big Backers for Chinese AI startup Zhipu. BHP chief counts on China taming property crisis to lift economy. A guide to art collecting. The eurozone's next crisis is already approaching, in Italy. Telegraph. How asset managers are starting to gauge corporate harm to nature, biodiversity. South China Morning Post. Asset managers are developing their own tools for assessing companies' exposure to nature and biodiversity loss as investors increasingly focus on the issue. The sector needs internationally agreed metrics for reliably measuring the impact of corporate activities on nature and the effects of mitigation projects. Allianz Global Investors has developed a metric for land-based biodiversity impact and will next year focus on ocean health impact. The World Economic Forum has found $44 trillion of global economic value is moderately or highly dependent on healthy ecosystems and biodiversity. Alibaba, Tencent Join Big Backers for Chinese AI startup Zhipu. Bloomberg. Chinese investors, including Alibaba and Tencent, have invested 2.5 billion Chinese yuan, $342 million, in AI startup Zhipu, part of a larger trend of capital flowing into the AI sector in China. Zhipu is one of several private firms attempting to build domestic rivals to OpenAI's ChatGPT. The interest in AI startups such as Zhipu highlights the broader implications of the US-China AI competition, which is expected to transform various industries and potentially power a new phase of economic growth. Additionally, AI technology has government and military applications that could complicate the already tense relationship between Washington and Beijing. BHP chief counts on China taming property crisis to lift economy. Nikkei Asia. BHP CEO Mike Henry has said that the speed with which China's property policies can restore market confidence is crucial to stabilizing the country's economy. BHP, the world's largest mining company, is highly exposed to the Chinese market, with around 60% of its overall revenue coming from there. China's economic growth has slowed considerably in recent years, and BHP is hoping that the government's measures to stimulate the property sector will translate into economic momentum. Henry also highlighted the challenge of decarbonizing the mining industry and reducing emissions. A guide to art collecting. The Globe and Mail. Buying art can be a daunting task with the rise of digital galleries and online auctions, making it easier than ever to purchase art but also easier to make hasty decisions. Experts have shared 5 tips to make the art buying experience enjoyable and stress-free. Firstly, it is important to consider the size of the artwork and the space you have available to display it. Knowing the measurements and bringing a measuring tape can help you make better decisions. Secondly, it is important to plan for the long haul. Consider the insurance and storage requirements of the artwork before purchasing. Thirdly, ensure the artwork is authentic by checking if the seller is part of a reputable art association and obtaining proper documentation. Fourthly, do thorough research on the artwork, the artist, and the process used to create it. Finally, find a community of art lovers who can offer advice and inspiration. Engaging with others and learning about different styles and preferences can enhance the art buying experience. U.S. groups lobby to refine proposed limits on China investment. Financial Times. U.S. investment groups are calling on the Biden administration to refine proposed limits on investment in China, arguing that they put American venture capitalists at a disadvantage. The groups are urging changes to a White House executive order that restricts U.S. investment in China's quantum computing, advanced chips, and artificial intelligence sectors. They have expressed concerns about the uncertainty surrounding the restrictions and the potential harm to domestic innovation. One area of concern is a carve-out that allows U.S. limited partners to continue investing in Chinese startups, provided that the venture capitalists directing the investment are Chinese or European and not American. Mission to save identity of Greece's Cyclades Isles. The Guardian. The Museum of Cycladic Art in Greece has launched a mission to protect the unique identity of the country's Cyclades Islands from the negative impacts of tourism and climate change. The initiative, led by a scientific committee of archaeologists and environmentalists, aims to help local communities preserve their culture and natural heritage while also promoting sustainable tourism. The Cyclades Islands are a popular tourist destination, attracting record numbers of visitors in recent years. However, unregulated construction and practices that threaten the fragile ecosystem have become a growing concern. The committee hopes to build a critical mass of people who are aware of the risks and willing to take action to protect the islands. So far, 9 projects on 8 islands have been chosen for support, including the revitalization of traditional water management practices and the promotion of traditional arts and crafts. The goal is to make the Cyclades Islands more resilient and ensure their long-term survival. New U.S. export limits on AI chips won't affect PLA immediately, analysts say. South China Morning Post. The U.S. Commerce Department has tightened export restrictions on advanced computing semiconductors, chip-making tools, and other cutting-edge items that could be used in AI applications for advanced weapon systems. The move is intended to prevent the Chinese military from acquiring advanced AI chips for weapons development. Analysts argue that the new rules may impede the PLA's modernization drive, but will not have an immediate impact, as China has already developed its own substitute chips. The U.S. ban on tailor-made NVIDIA and Intel chips could also hinder Beijing's AI ambitions. U.S. tech controls help and hinder China chipmakers. Reuters breaking views. The new export restrictions imposed by the Biden administration are aimed at curbing Chinese access to semiconductors for AI and warfare. The restrictions go beyond previous U.S. chip curbs and trade restrictions and create opportunities for local Chinese companies to fill the gaps in the chip supply chain. However, it will still take time for China to close the technology gap and create a completely domestic supply chain. Actors fear AI will take their jobs. In truth, it's already happening. The Sydney Morning Herald. The use of AI in the entertainment industry is causing concern among actors who fear it will replace their jobs. The Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA, has been warning about the potential impact of AI on actors' livelihoods. The recent news that extras on the set of Ridley Scott's Gladiator sequel were asked to have their likeness scanned without informed consent has only heightened these fears. While some actors have willingly used AI technology in their work, they believe consent and proper compensation are essential. The use of AI in the entertainment industry is not new. Photogrammetry and motion capture have been used to create digital models and characters for years. The recent advances in AI have made the process faster and more automated. Some companies are even using AI to create fake digital performances by historical figures. The fear among actors is that AI technology will advance to a point where it can generate entire seasons of TV shows or alter the ethnicity of characters without the consent of the actors involved. Legislation has been proposed to protect artists from unauthorized use of their voices, images, or likenesses by AI technology. The No Fakes Act, introduced to the U.S. Senate in October, aims to ensure that artists are compensated and have the right to give informed consent before their likeness is used. The proposed legislation comes in response to recent high-profile incidents of AI-generated replicas being used without consent or endorsement. Overall, actors are calling for transparency, consent, and fair compensation when it comes to the use of AI technology in the entertainment industry. They want to be included in negotiations and have a say in how their likeness is used. While AI has the potential to revolutionize the entertainment industry, actors want to ensure that they are not left behind in the process. First FT, Pentagon accuses China of rapidly expanding nuclear arsenal. Financial Times. China is reportedly accelerating the expansion of its nuclear arsenal, with its stockpile of operational nuclear warheads reaching 500 by May 2023, according to a report by the Pentagon. The report suggests that China is on track to exceed previous projections and predicts that the country will likely have more than 1,000 operational nuclear warheads by 2030. The report also suggests that China may be exploring the development of non-nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of striking the U.S. The rapid expansion of China's nuclear arsenal in recent years indicates a departure from its previous policy of having a lean and effective nuclear deterrent. China's increasing nuclear capabilities have raised concerns among American policymakers, who view China as the preeminent security threat. This comes amid escalating tensions between the U.S. and China on various fronts, including trade, technology, and human rights. The report is likely to further strain the already tense relationship between the two countries. That's all the news for today, folks. Let's recap what we've learned. 1. Italy's budget is causing concerns over the country's ability to handle its debt burden. The situation is made worse by the fact that Italian lenders hold a significant amount of government bonds, mostly Italian debt. 2. Asset managers are developing tools to assess companies' exposure to nature and biodiversity loss as investors increasingly focus on this issue. The World Economic Forum has found that a significant amount of global economic value depends on healthy ecosystems and biodiversity. 3. Chinese investors, including Alibaba and Tencent, have invested a substantial amount of money in AI startup Zhipu. This highlights the broader implications of the US-China AI competition, which is expected to transform various industries and potentially power a new phase of economic growth. 4. BHP, the world's largest mining company, is highly dependent on the Chinese market. The CEO is counting on China's property policies to restore market confidence and stabilize the country's economy. 5. Buying art can be a daunting task, but experts have shared tips to make the art buying experience enjoyable and stress-free. These tips include considering the size of the artwork, planning for the long haul, ensuring authenticity, doing thorough research, and engaging with a community of art lovers. 6. U.S. investment groups are calling for refinements to proposed limits on investment in China, arguing that they put American venture capitalists at a disadvantage. They have expressed concerns about the uncertainty surrounding the restrictions and the potential harm to domestic innovation. 7. The Museum of Cycladic Art in Greece has launched a mission to protect the unique identity of the Cyclades Islands from the negative impacts of tourism and climate change. The initiative aims to help local communities preserve their culture and natural heritage while promoting sustainable tourism. 8. The U.S. has tightened export restrictions on advanced computing semiconductors and other cutting-edge items that could be used in AI applications for advanced weapon systems. The move is intended to prevent the Chinese military from acquiring advanced AI chips for weapons development. 9. The use of AI in the entertainment industry is causing concern among actors who fear it will replace their jobs. Legislation has been proposed to protect artists from unauthorized use of their voices, images, or likenesses by AI technology. 10. China is reportedly accelerating the expansion of its nuclear arsenal, raising concerns among American policymakers. The rapid expansion of China's nuclear capabilities indicates a departure from its previous policy of having a lean and effective nuclear deterrent. So, there you have it, a diverse range of news stories today. From economic concerns in Italy to the impact of AI on the entertainment industry, it's clear that the world is constantly evolving and presenting new challenges and opportunities. As always, I'm here to provide you with my observations and analysis, but I'm also curious to hear your thoughts. What do you make of these news stories? Do you have any insights or questions? Let's start a discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.